Hello, everyone. This is Willie Green, aka Dr. Financial Literacy. I am an experimental political economist in which I look at the interaction between society and individuals and the economy. Today, I'm going to do a video on negative velocity banking in general. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So I am looking to do velocity banking with a credit card of 18%, taking out $108.06 to start the velocity banking. My cash flow income is about 33,640 a month after taxes. My expenses at the time that I'm planning on putting on the card and then pulling back off is about 24,75. They say you should have a positive cash flow. As you can see, at this point, I do have a positive cash flow for $889.68. However, I started this journey probably a couple of weeks ago, so the cash flow has changed. Right now, I'm down probably $900, so I am at negative cash flow. So some people say you cannot stop or should not start velocity banking at a negative cash flow. Well, I am at a negative cash flow. I'm gonna show you the cash flow and then see how I'm gonna work my way out of it using velocity banking. So addition to the again taking out a cash advance on the credit card at about 18% on top of the negative cash flow that I'm in. Right here, these are the periods that I've gotten paid: 1686, 1678 for the month of January. And now I'm still doing some calculations. And these are the amounts that I've started to take out of the cash flow. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in to a budget that I've tried to create so that I can see my cash flow. I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you now. Hope you all having a great day. All right, so this is my budget for 2024 that I started to look at my cash flow to do velocity banking. My wages last year, 16, 17, 47 every 2 weeks. I increased my take-home pay by taking less in federal taxes with my employer. So I'm now bringing home an additional $138.40, and I'm putting that toward my velocity banking. I went to Navy Federal, took out a cash advance on the card at 18,660. That gave me $5,233.40 for the entire month of being paid twice. Here I have my rent, trash, water, sewer, monthly service fee, electricity, all 1650. I thought it was going to be 400. I mean 16.4, over 250, so negative cash flow. Groceries for the month 69.46. Eating out 13.91. That's 83.37. Let me blow this up a little bit more. You can see. Also want you to see the running total. So let me back out. And looking at my transportation, 1501. I switched vehicles. I had a Dodge, or I still have, I'm sorry, Nissan Altima that I was traveling to work 122 miles one way. I was doing about 60 to 80 in fuel every week. Now that I'm driving the Kia Forte that I have, 2015 LE, I'm getting 40 to 45 miles to the gallon. I did not expect that from the Kia. So that is saving me a lot. Insurance 45. The car payments, I'll show you later down here. So that's 6001. No cable, that's being taken care of by my partner. Health club dues, not necessarily dues. Vacation, don't have any vacations for this month. May have one later in June. Gym fees, got a little gym around the corner, so try a little do pumping out. Magazine subscriptions, don't have any of that going on. Personal items, clothing, didn't do anything. I cut my own hair. I need to do a cut today. That's saving me about $40 every 2 weeks or 40 a month. I think every 2 weeks. So that's 1,200 a year that I'm saving. And I started that during COVID. When I first moved from Georgia to California, um, I found a barber in Woodland at $5.99. He eventually went up to $7.99. But during the COVID, I started cutting my own hair, and I've never looked back. So I'm saving about 1,200 a year. That can be in investing and help with the velocity of banking. The automobile that I told you about, the Kia Forte, 2015 LE. I got that for I think about $10,000. Sorry, I think I got that for about $10,000. Put down about 2,000. So these are some of the business cards. I mean, some of the credit cards that I have. Business, Capital One, Capital, Bank of America, Finger Hut. These are the monthly payments or the payment that I put in. So that was about 3,891 for the month. Miscellaneous payment, Zoom, so that I can communicate with you all. iPostal address, apartment application, $40. I got that in because I was looking at doing a HELOC, a HE loan. That fell through because of the amount that I have in debt. So I'm working on getting that down. Dollar Tree, Walmart, that's $356. So all in all, $6,041.82. Cash short, about 808.42. So I'm starting this velocity process in the hole and negative. I guess some individuals have said that you don't necessarily want to start it negative. Well, I'm starting it negative and I'm seeing how it goes. Let me start the screen. In this process, one of the other things that I'm doing, or I start for myself and my viewers and my clients, I'm testing 3 hypotheses or assumptions. Let me change that. I like 4 assumptions. All right. Well, it's not a strict experiment, so maybe I'll call it conjectures. Change that. Okay, 3 conjectures. 1, if I do this velocity thing starting from a negative, it should improve my credit score. Right now, according to Navy Federal, and that's going to be the velocity tool that I'm using for this particular experiment, is at 635. So I'll see when it changes next month. The next conjecture I'm looking at is allow me to have an open line of credit. So a velocity banking, in a simple definition for me, is using someone else's resources or capital to reduce my overall debt through an open line of communication and credit. And in this case, Navy Federal is giving me that open line, which is their credit card. Currently have $492.09 on the balance. Remember also we took out the 1860 at 8%. I've dumped in my paycheck, second paycheck of 1278. Yeah, 1278. No, I'm sorry, 1678. I made a deposit of 1278, made a deposit of 400, and I saw it was short, so I went back and made another deposit of 180, which means I brought back my entire paycheck, put it on the card. That brought down the principal, but I'm still negative. As you can see, I have a balance of 492. So I'm really starting off this velocity banking at a negative. The last conjecture or the hypothesis that I'm looking at, I'm gonna put this in an Excel sheet, but just wanted to show you the difference Um, I'm looking at the cash advance, which is the first one, 1860. Then the first row shows all my credit cards that I have. I use the cash advance to pay off those credit cards. Those credit cards range from 22% up to 32.94%. All the terms, 12 months. Then I'm just projecting. So I'm projecting to pay off the Navy Federal cash advance within 12 months. These are the various interest rates, 28%, 18%, 32.49%, and 25.49. And then these are some monthly payments that I have to make in order, or I would have been making. I'm sorry. With Navy Federal, I got to at least make 170.52 in payments to compensate for the four that I knocked out, because I also had a regular charge for the Navy Federal. So total interest rate, if I stick with Navy Federal, I dump it in my paycheck using velocity banking, will be $186.30 over a 12-month period. Now I'm down to $449 because I've dumped one paycheck in. I pay my bills, pay my electricity, gas, some food, some clothing out of it. So I was able to bring down that principal from 1860, because I started off at zero, down to 449, but I'm still in the negative starting velocity banking. If I would have gone the entire 12 months with just the 4 credit cards at their various interests, I would be paying $479.68. Whereas the cash advance wiped them out, and now I'm looking at an interest of $186.30. The cash advance is about 92 cents per day. So I'm paying Navy Federal at 18% once I did the daily interest rate of 92. And I'm starting to think about not in months, but in terms of daily interest rate. So this 12 will be 365. But as I put my check into the Navy Federal, make charges, pull money out, make charges, pull money out, then the daily principal is slowly going down. So it went from 1860 to 419. And the wonderful other thing about it is that when I paid that paycheck, it actually made the first payment. So now my principal balance is slowly down, and the daily interest rate that would have been charged at 92 per day, because I went from 18 to say 16 to 12, now I'm down to 419. The average daily balance, that's critical to the velocity banking. You're hitting the average daily balance. So whatever you have, any type of resources, you can put it in, make the charges. I paid my rent earlier, but I was unable to pay it through through a credit card. But my wife pays it through her credit card. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Just wanted to come on and make the video that I am starting velocity banking again as a deficit, from a deficit perspective. That deficit perspective is $808.42, and it could get larger. So doing velocity banking with a deficit, I'm in a negative. Just gonna see how it works, and I run this experiment. So thank y'all very much for being along with me during this experiment, and everybody have a great day. This is Dr. Financial Literacy.